Good morning, everybody. My name is Sir Defoting, talking to you from the castle of Commune. What is the meaning of life? What is the meaning of life? Well, that's a pretty tough question, ain't it? That's a question that each one of us will have to ask himself. That's a question that each one of us will have to be confronted with, one day or the other, one way or the other. No matter your country, your race, your religion, your height, your weight, your sex, no matter how much money you have in your bank account, that's a question that haunts us all, or at least will, or should. Of course, I know that many people will never have the opportunity to wonder what the meaning of life is, either because they did not live long enough to do so, or because they couldn't go beyond a certain mental threshold in terms of cognitive or spiritual functions. But that's a tiny minority. As for the huge majority, most people wonder, what is the meaning of life? Why are we here? What is the purpose of life? So many great thinkers along history have tried to give us answers. Plato, Aristotle, Kant, Hegel, Heidegger, Kierkegaard, and many, many more. But still, to this very day, many people have a hard time understanding or comprehending what the meaning of life is. If I had to sum it up in one sentence, here's what I would say. Either we suffer to perfect ourselves, or we suffer from our imperfections. That's the meaning of life. To be minding it, accepting and embracing its many hardships in order to build, mold, and chisel our character, for us to be able to extract from it, that is, from life, just like a miner, just like a person working in a mine, the many gemstones and precious metals it is so full of. Either we suffer to perfect ourselves, or we suffer from our imperfections. But there is a downside to that. Life can be for you a mine where you will be able to find many treasures if you so choose to work in that direction, to act on that principle. But it can also be something else. It can also be a field of mine if instead you will choose to act like a fool. If you will accept to embrace difficulties, hardships, adversities in order to become a better person, a better you, then you will extract from life so great a treasure that you will carry even in the next life. But if you decide to be wandering around like a fool, chasing pleasures and distractions, then life will be for you a field of mines. And sooner or later, you will tread on one, you will walk on one of those mines. Either we suffer to perfect ourselves, or we suffer from our imperfections. But what is suffering? Well, I think we all know what suffering is. The question instead should be, what is perfection? Or what is imperfection? Why do we even see ourselves as imperfect? Why do we feel imperfect? And what is the point in striving for perfection if at the end of the day we all die? What is the point in trying to achieve perfection, or at least come close to it, if at the end of the day we all die? Well, my dear friend, maybe that's the catch. We might have forgotten it after centuries and centuries of evil work. We might have forgotten that, as a matter of fact, chances are we don't really die. Maybe we just wake up. Maybe we just transit. If you are to understand the meaning of life, I think that maybe, just maybe, you might want to consider the possibility that death is not the end of all things. That death is but an illusion. That death might just be a beginning. If you want to know more, if you want to discover what the meaning of life is, well, come and join me and share with me my equation of life. It might not be perfect, but it surely is effective. Trust me. And even if you don't want to trust me, just don't forget this. Either we suffer to perfect ourselves, or we suffer from our imperfections. This is Sir de Fotzing from the Castle of Commune. Hope to see you soon.